In this lesson, we're going to learn a professional and safe method for finding refrigerant leaks in an air conditioning system using dry nitrogen gas. We'll go over how to prepare the system, how to choose the right pressure, how to test safely, and how to pinpoint and confirm leaks so your system stays reliable and contamination-free. Let's start with why nitrogen is used for leak detection. Nitrogen is an inert, dry, non-toxic, and non-flammable gas. Because it's inert, it won't react with any part of the AC system. And since it's dry, it doesn't introduce moisture, which means it helps prevent corrosion inside the components. It's also very affordable and widely available, since nitrogen makes up about 78% of the air we breathe. That's why it's the top choice for leak detection and system pressurization in the HVAC industry. Before doing anything, always follow safety procedures. First, recover all the refrigerant from the system using approved recovery equipment. Never vent refrigerant into the atmosphere. Follow the rules and guidelines that apply in your country, such as the EPA regulations in the United States. Wear safety glasses and gloves, secure your nitrogen cylinder in an upright position, and make sure to use a proper regulator rated for nitrogen. Never exceed the pressure limits of the system, and when you're done, always remove the regulator from the cylinder to prevent any accidental damage or gas leaks. Here's what you'll need for the test: a nitrogen cylinder, a regulator with 2 gauges, a manifold gauge set with blue, red, and yellow hoses, a soap solution for the bubble test, an electronic or tracer gas leak detector, and finally, a micron gauge and vacuum pump for the evacuation step later on. Now let's prepare. First, as mentioned, make sure the refrigerant is fully recovered. Next, read the equipment's data plate or service manual to find the maximum operating pressure or the manufacturer's recommended test pressure. Never exceed that limit. Too much pressure can damage valves, gaskets, or coils. If the manual isn't available, always take the conservative approach or contact the manufacturer for guidance. Also, purge the air from your hoses by briefly letting some nitrogen flow through them before connecting. This ensures there's no trapped air, which can affect your pressure readings and hide small leaks. Now let's pressurize. Connect the regulator to the nitrogen cylinder, attach the yellow hose to the regulator outlet, and connect the blue and red hoses to the low and high service ports of the AC unit. If your system has only a low side service port, then connect only the blue hose. Before you start, purge the manifold and hoses once again with a small burst of nitrogen. Next, open the cylinder valve slowly and turn the regulator handle clockwise to set your starting pressure. Start at around 100 pounds per square inch. Wait a minute or two to stabilize, then increase gradually in steps until you reach your target pressure. Increasing pressure in small increments avoids shocking the system's components. Once the pressure reaches the desired level, close both manifold valves so the system holds nitrogen on its own. Now comes the waiting period. Let the system hold at that test pressure, ideally for 30 minutes to an hour or even longer if possible. The longer the hold time, the more accurate your results will be. Keep in mind that a small change in pressure can happen naturally due to temperature fluctuations or gauge accuracy. But if you notice a steady pressure drop, that's a clear sign there's a leak somewhere. Once you suspect a leak, it's time to locate it. Start with a soap or bubble test. Apply the solution around all joints, fittings, and connections. If bubbles form continuously in one spot, that's your leak. Next, use an electronic leak detector or a tracer gas detector for smaller or hidden leaks. If you still can't pinpoint the exact leak location, you can isolate different sections of the system, like the coils, the line set, or the compressor section, and pressure test each one separately. Testing in smaller sections makes it easier to narrow down where the pressure loss is happening. If you find a leak in the copper pipe, you need to fix it properly. Technicians usually repair it by brazing, which means heating the pipe and sealing it with a filler metal. Once everything is fixed and confirmed leak-free, it's time to bring the system back to normal. Start by closing the nitrogen cylinder and fully turning the regulator handle counterclockwise to release all pressure. Remove the yellow hose and then slowly open the low-pressure service valve to vent the nitrogen gas safely. Now connect your vacuum pump and evacuate the system down to 500 microns or below. This removes moisture and non-condensable gases. When the vacuum holds steady, recharge the system with the proper type and amount of refrigerant, and then run the AC to confirm it's working correctly. If your pressure drops too quickly, double-check all your hose fittings and valve connections. If it drops slowly, it could be due to temperature changes, very small leaks, or trapped air. And if your vacuum doesn't reach the target micron level, you may still have a small leak, moisture, or a blockage. In that case, repressurize with nitrogen and test again before re-evacuating. So that's the full professional method for leak detection using nitrogen gas. Recover your refrigerant safely, choose the right test pressure, pressurize slowly, check with soap and detectors, purge during brazing, and always vacuum the system properly afterward. If you follow these steps carefully, you'll get accurate results, prevent damage, and ensure a long-lasting, efficient AC system. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to share it with others, and subscribe for more HVAC learning content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.